Hi, it's Artemy. You can also call me Art, and you can find me at CU Artist pretty much everywhere. I am still playing around with outlines. Earlier on, I mentioned with dread in my voice that I was considering adding in a new character. It has been a very, very long time since I have added a character. I've cut them more recently than putting in new ones, I believe. So I'm really trying to get a kind of more broad strokes outline done so I can see where they need to fit in earlier in the comic. I really don't want it to feel like they are kind of shoved in at the last minute, but I do really think that that character is important to answer some of the questions I have had about the plot. It's kind of my goal to sort of look at things with a blank slate. It has been so long since I've done an outline or script or even the thumbnails that a lot of the story beats that I've come up with more recently are not in a solid place. I mean, besides the outlines that I have been fiddling around with more recently. But all of those need to kind of be edited together, and a lot of scenes I'm unsure if it makes sense. So I'm kind of trying to put things together by memory and make sure to be putting in the things that I want and make sense. Or at least that has been my plan for the past couple days with the latest outline I've been trying to mess with. I was trying to do things from memory as best as possible, but looking at the thumbnails and kind of glossing over the scenes as I saw them. And if there was a scene that I didn't quite remember, I was definitely questioning, the purpose of it being there and if it was necessary and if there was something that would work better in its stead. So I kind of went through the story except for the sort of epilogue finishing off points, since I still am not so sure on that. I have ideas of what happens after the big finale, but I still am unsure about how I'm going to thread them all together. What I had there was pretty outdated by this point in time, so I still have to kind of really sit down and think about how that's going to go, so I just am not doing that as of yet. It will come once I get the rest of the outline fully put together. And while I was writing up the plan to talk about this stuff, I was also fixing up the outline I had been working on. I did get to the end of where I wanted to be with that, and then I was like, yes, I do really think character by character outlining is a smart way to go with how many characters I have and plots, and it really does kind of need to have that attention to each individual person. But I don't regret any of the recent outlines I have done because I'm constantly asking questions while I'm writing things up, and so I do end up figuring out more things as I am doing so. It is just the chronic me problem of forgetting to actually look back at the work I have done. So my current most thing that I am doing is I have printed out the 3 kind of outlines I have been messing around with for the past chunk of time, and I am also going to try and print out a bunch of the little ideas that I have thought I wanted to put in, just wasn't sure where to go, or character musings that I've sent to my partner, and have those printed out physically so I can go through them with colored pens and really kind of piece them together. Really, the going from traditional to digital and back and forth really does help me with a lot of things, so I'm hoping that having that physical reminder to look at the stuff that I have already done will be a help. So I've printed out the outlines, and I am still gathering the stuff that I have spread out through so many places. At some point, I do think I'm just gonna have to be okay, I've found what I can, no more. But as of now, I'm still fine just searching through the stuff that I have. Fortunately, a lot of it is in Notion, so I have a lot of it figured out already, and I can search the chats with my partner to kind of find the things I've mentioned. But yeah, that is the track I am on currently. I'm also hoping once I get that kind of more organized again, I will be able to talk through it with my partner or somebody else who does writing stuff, because telling the story to somebody usually does help you figure out some of the problems you're having. So I will see. I think I'm finally closing in on the final steps, though. I will hopefully, if it is interesting, give an update after I have actually completed this outline. I mean, I can't really say the things entailed in the outline, but if I come across any more interesting things that I've learned while pulling through all of the older stuff that I've worked on, I will be sure to try and talk about that. But for now, I have to go take my cat to the vet to get her teeth looked at. So, thanks for listening, and I hope to see you tomorrow.